14th of every Valentine's and marriage anniversary is the same gift that I give. It saves me money.
Hello and welcome back to Parenthoot, the podcast where we dive into the real, messy, beautiful stories of parenthood. This is the space where we celebrate the joys, share the challenges, and most importantly, remind ourselves that we are not alone in this journey. Whether you are a new parent, a seasoned one, navigating single parenthood, or figuring out co parenting, there is something here for everyone. In today's episode, we have a truly inspiring guest whose journey is filled with unique insights, rich experiences, and a fascinating blend of professional and personal transitions. I am excited to welcome Arun Gupta to the podcast. Arun's story is one of relentless ambition, deep family values, and the courage to take big leaps, both in his career and his parenting journey. Alongside his wife Vandana, Arun has navigated the complexities of raising two incredible daughters while balancing demanding careers, shifting roles, and finding harmony in their vastly different parenting styles. From working in IT giants to eventually stepping away from the corporate grind to support a nonprofit started by his daughter, Arun's journey is nothing short of inspiring. So let's dive into this candid and heartfelt conversation. Hi, Arun. Welcome to Parenthood. I'm so excited to have you with us today. How are you feeling about this conversation?
Uh, Hi, Neha. I'm feeling very strange. I've never done this.
There's always a first time.
Yeah. And there have been so lavish words you used. So I've started wondering whether I've inspired anybody uh, as yet. But happy to be here. I think this is parenting is a subject when probably irrespective, everybody has experiences,
Yeah,
everybody has learning. This is a path where I think you can be a new parent, you can be a seasoned parent, but you always remain a learning parent,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that's what I am. This is something, yes, the most enjoyable part of uh, uh, a person's persona, life,
yeah,
which is the same for me. So
yeah.
happy to be here. I think that this is a very interesting uh, concept and a channel that you have started a podcast. And when I
Thank
heard
you.
about this, initially I was shy uh, and and wondering, but then the whole subject is such that at least one can always share few things.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And before we get into the subject of parenting, Arun, to start off, we would like to know a little bit about you. If you were to describe yourself using just three words or phrases, what would those be and why?
I am an invisible man.
Uh-huh.
I'm a shy man. I don't open up too much in public.
Yeah,
Uh, I prefer working alone, away
yeah,
from all the. I believe that is very cozy, uh,
yeah,
because the world is a place where people have different experiences. Some people enjoy a lot of other people's company. I'm more
yeah,
like there's so much noise in the system.
yeah,
Best be with yourself because generally a man's best friend is or a person's best friend is himself or herself.
yeah.
So I'm my own best friend,
Uh-huh.
and that is how I lead my life. So I'm generally invisible to people. Uh,
Yeah,
I go out less,
yeah. Yeah,
and
how does your family feel about that?
my family, I think half the family is like me. My elder daughter, she's
Yeah,
also a workaholic like me.
yeah,
Uh, uh, the rest of the family, my wife is like she's a Punjabi girl,
yeah,
enjoys life, lives with a lot of vibrancy.
yeah,
Uh, but typically, we will say we'll still everybody in our family is more work focused,
yeah,
less of frills and fancies of life. They don't attract us much.
yeah.
Uh, we are simple people.
Mhm.
It's like this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And talking about your family, Arun, you and Vandana, your wife, have a beautiful and unique story spanning 38 years together. Wow, almost 4 decades, and including both of your childhood and, almost 3 decades of marriage. and you have shared so many years of love, life, and partnership. Tell us a little about your family and also include Khyati and Niyati into the equation, and how is the ecosystem like? What is the family life like?
Okay, so we are like any other family. We are a typical Indian middle class family,
Yeah.
and our parents, my father, Vandana, my wife's father, they were both working with the government in a
Uh-huh.
nuclear power station.
Mm.
So we were born in the same colony. We studied together in the same school from class KG, right?
Wow.
It's only at a certain point when the hormones start kicking in that you start
Yeah.
noticing each other, right?
Yeah.
And that's what happened. The Cupid hit at
Yeah.
some point in time when we were in class 10th or 11th, and a journey started.
Yeah.
And as we kind of completed our engineerings and things, we got married.
Yeah.
That was way back in 2000, in 1996,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
A good day. It was a Valentine's Day, 14th of
Wow. So
and
I think you chose that date so that you can't ever forget your anniversary.
I'm bunny. I prefer kind of saving money. So it's now gifting one gift. So 14th of February, Valentine's and marriage anniversary is the same gift that I give. It saves me money.
Yeah, that's I think that's smart.
So, and then on the journey, we were blessed with two wonderful daughters. I
Yeah.
always wanted daughters. I have that. I have no qualms in saying that I am strongly, very strongly biased toward girls.
Uh-huh.
Did not want a boy to come in my family.
Oh,
Right?
really?
I'm so sorry to say
That
that.
strongly?
Right? Yeah, that strongly.
Uh-huh.
And I feared that because I knew what kind of a son I was. I gave all the pain in the world to my dad. He would always be concerned about my career and everything, right? And I was
Yeah.
more cozy towards my mom, right?
Yeah.
As I was growing, I felt like generally boys are more pally with the mom, girls with the
Yeah.
father. I was very selfish. I thought that if I have girls,
Yeah.
they will be with me, and I
Yeah.
love them. We'll share that special father-daughter bond. And
Yeah.
luckily that happened. So I was blessed with two daughters. Elder one is Khyati, now 23,
Wow.
born in year 2000. Khyati stands for fame. Uh,
Yeah.
the younger one is Niyati,
Mm-hmm.
uh, stands for fate,
Yeah.
right? So fame and fate, I kind of got both of them.
Yeah. How
In form
beautiful.
of
How
daughters.
beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. How old is Niyati now?
So
19?
Niyati is 18.
18.
She just got 18, so she's learning to drive. She
Uh-huh.
wanted to do it for a long time, but then I said, not till the day you are 18.
Uh-huh.
Since the day she has been 18, that's what she has been doing.
Wow.
She's starting her college. So she'll be doing her medical BDS,
Uh-huh.
will become a dentist.
Yeah.
Hopefully a good one. And
Yeah.
Khyati works with Barclays. Uh,
Uh-huh.
Vandana and I used to work together for a long time. She was into IT, I was into IT. Uh, and we went as a package everywhere,
Right.
saved on the fuel. It's a common car that we used to go to.
Yeah.
It was comfortable every which way, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
every time we'll go somewhere, anybody would be interviewed, they'll say, "Ki, if only if the other person comes."
Wow.
That's how
Wow.
we spent a lot of years.
Yeah.
Um, has
Yeah.
been a wonderful journey. I would say.
Right, right. And you talked about how you and Vandana have different personalities, different parenting philosophies. So how's the dynamic in the household? What are some things that you disagree on, agree on when it comes to parenting, and what is the approach like?
Yeah, so we keep it very simple. We
Yeah.
agree on nothing. It is that simple. There is not one thing I remember in the last so many years, 24, Khyati's 24, that we would have agreed on.
Yeah.
Okay. And so as I said, Vandana is more uh, happy-go-lucky. She enjoys everything in life. If
Yeah.
there would be a Diljit Dosanjh concert
Yeah.
nearby, she would love to go and shout there. And I'm a
Yeah.
guy that if Diljit Dosanjh will give me 10 crore rupees, then also I'll not go. right? What a waste of time. So this is the kind of personality. And we would had our tough time to start with.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, and that goes a lot with the families that we were raised in. Okay.
Right.
So typically, I'm typifying things, and
Yeah.
it would not probably matter these days, but typically in the Bania family, or at least in the my family, we had a large family, and there would be a chain of command. So if
Yeah.
my dur ke uncle, who is elder to my father, he would say something, everybody would follow.
Yeah.
It would be like this, and just nobody will breach that, and I'll be very happy to do that. That
Yeah.
was the chain of thought, and everybody would support also. Uh,
Right.
Nobody would disrespect each other. It will be a word of command, and that's how we used to live.
Yeah.
Right? In Vanna's family, it is not like this. They will fight over the dinner table.
Yeah.
Extreme fight, you'll feel like it's an extreme fight. And then 5 minutes later, you'll see that everybody is kind of roaming around again, forgetting things. And in our family, if somebody kind of insults somebody, it will take
Yes.
6 years to mend that, right?
Right.
If I say something. So we came from that kind of a background. So and
Yeah.
it's what we wanted to do,
Yeah.
right? But it was difficult. So we took a very simple decision.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, let's not fight.
Yeah.
First part of till the time kids grow to 18, till the time they go to college, you take all the decisions. I left it to my wife because,
Uh-huh.
right, I'll focus more on career and house and earning a lot of money and everything. You
Yeah.
also keep on doing that, but then it's your call. I will just close my eyes. As soon as they turn 18, you'll hand over both of them to me.
Uh-huh.
And after that, I'll take care. So the smart thing was, for my wife, it was like the first 18 years, she was getting the immediate gratification. For
Right.
me, the calculation was after 18, it's a long life,
Yeah.
right? For the rest of the life, there.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is in fun, but more
Yeah.
or less, to a certain extent, we actually did that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Vandana took care of their studies. She took
Yeah.
care of growing them up and everything. And now when it's come to their jobs, their career, uh, learning how to drive, taking life decision, this is
Yeah.
the thing she handed them over to me. Because
Yeah.
anyhow, when the kids are very near to their mothers, a lot of times they stop listening to her.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen with me. So they do listen to me. They would respect. We'll have long conversations.
Yeah.
Khyati and I still every week we'll go out, drive at 1 o'clock in the night when there's nobody on the roads.
Yeah.
We talk office, life, love, uh,
Yeah.
in the school. That's how.
But Arun, this is very interesting. Did you not feel this void for the first 18 years? Not in terms of their non-presence or absence, because they were obviously there, but just in terms of being able to, influence some of the things, because you had literally left it on Vandana to take those decisions. Was it not difficult?
It was difficult. It was difficult, but it was difficult only for the initial part of it. See,
Right.
eventually the thing is both parents do think of the kids in the best possible way they can, right?
Right.
It's just that I am a very strong believer that any two people, because of their upbringing, because of their education, because of their own personal life experiences, they think differently.
Right.
Right? It's just the way of looking at the things is different. But
Yeah.
then everybody wants to do a right thing, a good thing, good for
Yeah.
themselves, good for the society, good for children, right?
Yeah.
So it's not necessary that everything that I do, it has to be done that way.
Yeah.
It is about accepting the fact that their mother is the best person to raise them up. It's just that her style is not my style. She's
Right.
not going to take them to the forest and leave them there,
Yeah.
right? So that way, with that mindset, it's very easy also. And it's not about not being with the child. It's just that making the decisions for them,
Right.
right? A
Right.
lot of schooling decisions,
Right.
etc. One would make it like, say, for example, my take was that generally I take a child as a project,
Right.
right? As soon as you give birth to a child, only when you are ready for it,
Yeah.
and now your life is changing. Your life
Yeah.
is converting to that you have taken a responsibility
Yeah.
and you have to deliver, because that's how the world grows. There would be offsprings until 18 years of time or 16 years. You have to take care of them, and then you leave them to the world, right?
Right.
You live your life, because now I am kind of going into that old age,
Yeah.
slowly and slowly diminishing. My
Yeah.
power, my energy, everything is going down. One day I will die, and you take care of the things, right?
Right.
So as a project, my thinking was, okay, one part of it would be education, and then I am an ambitious man. So when I would think of education, I would think of Harvard from the day
Yeah.
one for my child, right?
Yeah.
Then there should be one art form, whatever the child would like, and I will discuss that also. But then maybe it's a guitar, or maybe it's a
Yeah.
play, but typically one, not too many of them. Too
Yeah.
many of them, otherwise you cannot concentrate on anything. And one sport which
Yeah.
keeps you fit, and sport is a passion like nothing else.
Yeah.
And typically you start with three of those things. For my
Yeah.
wife, the music part and the sports part was an absolute waste of life,
Yeah.
right? Why would you get into that? It's education, education, and education. Just focus on that, and then you give some, you take some,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to create an environment where you're constantly fighting on such
Yeah.
issues. It's very easy. Start discussing, and then one of you just negotiate and
Yeah.
and so that's how. So yes, of course, now it sounds that easy.
Yeah.
Uh, of course, at that point in time, it took time, it took effort, it took heartburn.
Yeah.
But eventually, it's one of the best decisions I took.
Yeah.
That's why I take it.
Yeah.
Uh, she took good care of kids, because I, at that point in time, the way the career was going on and everything, would find less time to kind of sit with the children, help them with their tuitions, right?
Yeah.
One at some point in time took a voluntary decision to leave the job
Yeah. To focus on the
and
kids.
focus on the kids, because
Yeah.
again, that thing goes in a family, that it's a very important project. It's a
Yeah.
project not for your family, but for the
But for
society
you.
as a whole,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's a child who
Yeah.
can shape the world. It can be another Bill Gates or a somebody.
Yeah, yeah, true. And now that both the girls are over 18, and Niyati just turned 18, you told us. So is Vandana having withdrawal symptoms?
So they still, for everything that is emotional and things, they all are fooling me. They're all a gang, right? The emotional bond with their mother is much, much stronger. But
Yeah.
then Papa comes with a lot of money,
Yeah.
right? My way of doing things is, so like Niyati had to lose weight. So I
Yeah.
created a weight loss plan, and
Yeah.
I gave us a target. Every 1 kg that you lose, this is the money that you get. Every five,
Wow.
and this is the bonus. So I created a 4 lakh rupees of plan. Right?
Wow.
And it's just been 4 months when I kind of implemented it, and she has already lost some 25 kgs. Right?
Wow.
And already
Wow.
1.6 lakh rupees plus.
Yeah.
So the thing is, but I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm teaching them the value of money,
Yeah.
savings, investing,
Yeah.
right? Those life skills which they'll require.
Yeah.
Right? But then I know eventually a person is a emotional being, right? We fall, we rise, we have ecstasy, all of that. The bond with the mother is something which is extremely, extremely special. This, again, typifying it, but the thing is, no man can ever, ever, ever breach that or beat that. So I'm not a fool trying thing.
Yeah.
I even think of that. So the mom
Yeah.
is the boss, and it's another rule is, in our family, the mom is the boss.
Yeah.
Eventually, every decision, the last call she takes,
Yeah.
and that is another simplest of things which we have implemented. That brings the bliss in our family.
Yeah.
He being able to take the last call, so there's
Yeah.
no argument as such, no
Right.
anything.
Right. She always has the veto power.
Yeah, and I believe she's always right.
Yeah. Oh, you have no choice.
Yeah, but I sincerely believe women. I don't know. I'm a person who thinks on extremes. I am
Right.
in the middle, either this side or that side. Is
Yeah.
one side of the thing from me. So my belief is, women are better home managers, better
Mhm.
child managers, better family managers. They have better IQ, better EQ.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
so why take the load?
yeah, that's true. That's true. I think that is what yeah, that's what makes I think rest of your life much easier when you decide on some ground rules right in the beginning, and then you just stick to them. And in case of any argument, in case of any disagreement, you go back to that foundational rule book, so to say, and say, yeah, this is what needs to be done, and this is how we'll abide by it and move on. Mm.
Absolutely, absolutely, Neha. One of the biggest deficiencies in the life system that I see is, so we spend so many of years in the schools, etc., and we learn about biology, chemistry, physics, and everything. One day we turn adolescents and then adults, young adults. We have to marry. There's no school which teaches. There has to be a 6 months or a 3 months course where every person before marriage must attend to learn how do you become compatible, because
Yeah,
any two people, they will be from two different planets, because
yeah,
they have different experiences, different families, and you learn to give in, you learn to make good relationship, right?
yeah,
uh, uh, Otherwise you kind of fight, you learn. A lot of love is lost in the initial days itself between both a lot of families, and that needs to be prevented.
yeah, yeah. This reminds me of a beautiful quote that I read someplace. I don't remember who is it by, and I don't remember the exact quote, but it says something like compatibility is not a prerequisite of love. If you're lucky, it's the outcome of it.
Absolutely.
So that's the truth. I mean, yeah, just because you are in love, or just because you have respect for each other or affection for each other, doesn't mean that you are automatically compatible. And I think this is such an important point which is often missed. Mm,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
You have to be one of those lucky 2% or 3% to be automatically compatible.
Right,
8% of the times you would not be.
right,
But
right.
then to navigate that and be
Yeah,
compatible, give in something, take something,
yeah,
leave something, and work out those ground rules. Because I see a lot of families do not create that kind of understanding and rules.
yeah,
Takes the call which area, right?
yeah,
And the thing is, two people, when they are raising a family, earning income, buying the car, raising the kids, there is a lot of responsibility,
yeah,
right? And until unless you divide those responsibilities amicably, depending on each other's strength areas,
yeah,
right? Uh, and nobody's perfect. You
yeah,
have to kind of accept. So I think one good thing in our family is, so if we have given something to Vandana, if she does it, so 20% of time she will make a loss also somewhere,
yeah,
right? And that's fine.
yeah,
Because 80% of time things are happening good. So if
yeah,
those 20% is something that you start seeing and you start giving your expert opinion every time, one would ruin the family. But I don't know
yeah.
where we have reached.
No, but this is very very interesting, and I am also very interested to know. You are talking about you, and you're talking about Vandana in all of this. How has this approach, or how has this management style, so to say, how has it shaped the daughters?
uh, so in general, first of all, so okay, let me describe both the daughters.
Yeah.
First of all, so Khyati is 24, very career focused, right? She's 24. She has never had a boyfriend.
Oh.
I push her that it's time to kind of find some love,
Yeah.
and she said it's such a waste of time. Right? It kills me.
Yeah.
Okay, but then her choice.
Yeah.
Uh, but then a good thing is, yeah, she's focused on her life. She's a balanced person. Uh, 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 I don't know, and she has that soft heart. You'll just speak to her. You'll find her very different from the current generation today.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, she'll be very soft. She'll try to please. She'll try to support. She'll try to help. So almost everything that you look for in a child, you'll see that. But then often when you see that, yeah, you can do a lot more, be more flamboyant, you can go to
Yeah.
party. Well, on her side, we so a lot of parents actually tell their kids, uh, uh, थोड़ा कम जाओ बाहर,
हाँ.
ये करो, ठीक है। वो यहाँ उल्टा है कि हमें पुश करना पड़ता है, हर थिंग इज राइट। नियति दैट वे, नियति इज अ वेरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग विल्ड पर्सन.
Mm-hmm.
uh, so what Khyati is more like her mother.
Yeah.
Niyati is more like me. She's focused. If she decides that she have to do something, so she needs those challenges in life. Khyati does
Ah,
not need those challenges.
right,
Right? She'll just keep on going on her pace, and she won't be that street smart. Niyati will do anything to kind of get her way. Uh,
right.
but again, uh, very very positive, intelligent, sharp. Uh, I don't know. I just love those two daughters.
And speaking of them, Arun, Khyati, she has achieved so much at such a young age, starting a non-profit Pinkish at 16. Was she 16 when she started it?
Yeah, she was 16.
16, yeah. And now she's winning multiple awards for her work. How's that like? And how has it been for you as a father to watch something being built, some so impactful? Like, how does it feel?
Well, very sorry to say, but in our family, those awards mean nothing. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so neither Khyati, nobody celebrates them.
Yeah,
So even recently, she got the Republic Hero of Change Award. Only 5 people in the whole of nation got it. Major
yeah,
awards,
yeah,
right? But then we had to constantly remind ourselves that other people will kill for it.
yeah,
But then half an hour after the awards, everybody had forgotten it. Everybody was working. Awards, nobody could. So today, it's just been 20 days, but nobody can even find where the award would be in our family.
mm-hmm.
That's how it goes. So typically, those things are not important for us. I
Right,
think Khyati more focused is she would be more interested in understanding how many girls have we supported by our
right,
foundation,
yeah,
right? uh, uh, and that is how it is. Even in the office, I believe her focus is more on. So she keeps working the 5 days and then Saturdays and the Sundays. While it is not required in an office, they heavily focus on the work-life balance. But
yeah,
her thing is, I need to give more. I need to give more. So ours is more a giving kind of a family. So
right,
that's how Khyati works. Niyati again, well, she did not even bother to go to the awards,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, we saw the pictures. It was just you, Vandana, and Khyati, and
Yeah,
yeah,
Vandana
from the
enjoys.
family.
Vandana thoroughly enjoys these
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
But she is the minority in the family. That's how it goes. I don't know what to
But
say.
how did the idea of Pinkish come to Khyati? What brought it up? What brought it on?
So it was an incident, a normal incident. So we had this household help who would come every day, जैसे सबके
Yeah,
घरों में आती हैं. And one
yeah,
day she brought her teenage daughter along.
yeah,
Uh, and then Khyati noticed a blood stain on her dress.
yeah,
And she went to her, spoke to her, and then she was horrified to find out that she was not wearing a sanitary pad and she was on a period.
yeah,
My daughter that way have always been more open with me on these kind of things. When
yeah,
it was Khyati's time and I overheard Vandana telling her about her preparing about the period,
yeah.
I had to jump in कि तुझे कुछ नहीं पता, what are you telling? Let me, right? So Khyati.
Let me mansplain.
So, so then she came to me
Uh-huh.
and she said, this is the situation. And I was like casual,
Yeah,
flamboyant guy running a business,
yeah,
etc. So I said, yeah, होता है सबके साथ, मतलब हिंदुस्तान ऐसा ही देश है, काफी पॉवर्टी है, etc.
mm,
She was not happy with it. She started doing some internet research, etc. She started coming out to me with articles, etc. So she had already made up her mind that she wanted to do something about it.
right.
But then a young girl would not know how to do it. It was just a wish, a
Yeah,
more like a. And then she said, why don't we do something about it? I said, what? She said, I
mm,
don't. Well, it was like, I don't know, but
yeah,
let's do something about it.
yeah,
Then she started asking me. I said, we can start a foundation, but why should we do that? And it's like, father, you will think, no, कि okay, teenage adolescent age में हर रोज इनको कोई नया idea आ जाता है.
हाँ,
एक startup आ जाएगा, आज ये आ गया है. But she was persistent. So I, for anything in life, if somebody kind of approaches me for a job, uh, until unless the person approaches me 5 times, I would not hear. But
I
after
know.
5 times,
I
I
know.
will.
I've
Oh
been there.
my goodness. Wrong direction. Okay. So I think that want, that hunger is very, very important. And
Yeah.
then you want to do things for that person.
Yeah.
So when I saw that persistence in Khyati and she wanted to do it, so I said, okay, because I'm doing other things, I'll help you build it up. You'll have to run it. She said, this is what I would want to make one of my life goals.
Yeah.
At that point in time, her thinking was that this is the only thing that she will do in life.
Oh, okay.
So I started doing it after, as we started maturing, because I was also new in the development sector.
Right.
And
Right.
initially, I committed 20% of my time helping it.
Uh-huh.
But after some time, then she realized, so when I work in Pinkish, can I draw a salary? And I said, no, this is
Mm.
a trust that we had started. So we would never want to be in that situation where somebody
Yeah.
would, so while you will kind of give your effort and everything. So then she said, ki, how will I earn my bread and butter? So I said, I will run it on your
Mm.
behalf. You be 20%. Now I'll be 80%.
Right.
Change roles. And
Yeah.
that rest of the 80%, you start working and earn your life bread. You take care of, because after a few years, we will slowly and slowly grow old. You will become the leader of the house,
Yeah.
right? So we are also conscious about a side thing, the fact that yes, at the right time, you need to start passing baton, right?
Right.
So we've already started doing with Khyati, where now all the decisions that we take, it's important that she sits with us,
Right.
and eventually we leave it to her, that
Yeah.
whatever you say, right? So
Yeah.
she's unknowingly, unconsciously, she's getting to know that I am the person to decide.
Yeah.
Mom and dad are kind of pulling back,
Yeah.
right? And that's the way to, I believe, pass on that baton,
Yeah.
right? That's what
Yeah.
we're doing. So that's how we do it. So now she's working, and then rest of the time on the weekends, etc. She does that. She has become more bossy, while because now she's like a board member asks me
Yeah.
what has been the performance, what have been done this
Wow.
month, what I can go back. Yeah, that's
And
how.
how is it between the sisters? What are they close? Is there any sibling rivalry, or do they complement each other in their own little ways? How's it?
In our family, I think everybody is pretty individualistic.
Yeah.
All people in their own rooms are always working on something.
Yeah.
So in terms of bond, I would wish that it would have been a greater. We
Hmm.
play less,
Yeah.
right? So Niyati is busy into her things, Khyati in her things, Vandana in her things, because she takes care of all the finances of Pinkish.
Yeah.
So so we all have our offices in our house,
Yeah.
and everybody is kind of busy there. Everybody take time and appointment from each other.
Wow.
Because it's more like an office,
Yeah.
us, because we all work from home. Great
Yeah.
thing, we don't have to spend time, we don't pollute there, we don't have
Yeah.
to spend money on the cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is how it is. But in terms of both the girls are different, and I think on that front, I wish there were more interaction, more that होता है ना, दोनों लड़कियों के बीच में दो sisters होती है, कुछ कुछ secrets होते हैं.
Yeah.
So for both of them, the thing is parents. So
Yeah.
Khyati will interact with her mother, Khyati with her mother. Both will have different type of interactions.
Right.
Both will have different times of interactions.
Yeah.
That is something I don't like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish it was
Sounds.
different.
Yeah.
क्योंकि हम लोग ऐसे ना बच्चों की तरफ भाई बहन बहुत ज्यादा एंजॉय करते थे, और अपने
Hmm.
सीक्रेट्स होते थे. मम्मी को पता ना हो लेकिन सिस्टर को पता होता था कि कौन बॉयफ्रेंड है, फिर एक दूसरे से पैसे मांगना, ये करना.
Right.
आज की डेट में क्या है, सब सेल्फ रिलायंट है. नियति अर्न्स हर मनी, ठीक है.
Yeah.
वो बिकॉज वो कुछ ना कुछ करके पैसे कमाती रहती है. शी इज
Hmm.
18, बट शी
Hmm.
ऑलरेडी हैज अ गुड बैंक बैलेंस.
Okay.
एनी हाउ प्रोफेशनली वर्किंग.
Yeah.
So they don't need each other for anything like that.
Yeah. Material needs. And for emotional needs, I think they have their mother. So
They have their mother.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
for making the life decisions,
They have
then
their father.
everybody would kind of knock at my door. They will take an appointment, book something on my calendar. Then I know that there's some serious discussion coming in.
Wow.
कि कॉलेज कौन सा करना है, क्या कैसे करना है.
How
जॉब.
did this come about that, taking appointment? Was it because you've had such a rich professional life that you probably didn't have time, so to say, that they wanted to take time from?
I wake up 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever time, but since from that moment till the time I go to sleep, I'm working.
Yeah.
Right? My calendar is always chock-a-block. So
Mm-hmm.
anybody, so for them also, what happens is earlier they used to just barge in like anything, and they would say, "Papa, Papa, Papa," and I would say, "Khyati, I'm busy. Well, there's a meeting going on, right? Book a
Yeah.
time on the calendar." So first I kind of said, "This is my secretary,
Yeah.
assistant. Talk to her. Have a time. We'll have a good discussion."
Yeah.
Right? But then I can't just like have. So initially, Khyati would be very, very upset with that.
Yeah.
What is this? This is not done. This is family. I said, that's fine. I will give you 5 hours, 10 hours, whatever you wanted, but it has to be blocked. Otherwise, there would be something else.
Yeah.
And which will become challenging.
Yeah.
Right. And then they understood. Right. So because now she's also working, so she also understands the time of scheduling.
Yeah.
For us, everything is scheduling.
Yeah.
Right? We schedule our interactions. I'm so sorry. This can be such a wrong thing for your audience.
But whatever works. Even see, I am a big proponent and believer both in terms of this thing that whatever works for whoever. I
Yes.
mean, do your thing. And if it's working out for you, like who am I to say, ke, oh my God, you schedule your interactions. At least you interact. There are some families, who sit in the same room and they don't interact.
Oh no,
So,
that way I'll tell you, we live in bliss.
yeah.
If you ask me, recently I just went to Vaishno Devi Yatra just 10 days before. और वहां पे when I was coming to Vanna said कि क्या मांगा. मैंने कुछ नहीं मांगा. I just thanked her. I said thank you for this life.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us everything.
Yeah.
Right? We are still middle class people. We are not rich.
Yeah.
Richness, nobody wants us in our family. We don't even know what do we do with that.
Right.
मतलब कोई आज हमें 5 करोड़ रुपए दे दे तो हमें नहीं पता क्या करना है क्योंकि we
Hmm.
don't want to go to a bigger house, we don't want to go to a bigger car. वो हम
Yeah.
कर चुके हैं, ठीक है. And
Hmm.
what we do, Pinkish, उसी में कुछ कुछ ऐसी recognitions आ जाती हैं. See, what people would not know is कि जैसे if you're doing a non-profit brings you a lot of recognition,
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
So otherwise, for a normal person going to say a district magistrate is difficult. It is not for me.
Right.
Right? We talk to them, we interact with them. I can go to any government department. We work with Indian Army,
Yeah.
BSF, CRPF. So all those senior officers are good friends.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody respects that you're doing something for the society, not expecting anything in return. But
Yeah.
I would say this is the return that we get. Right? So
Yeah.
typically when you start getting that kind of a thing, you don't require those artificial or those smaller things in life. You know,
हाँ मतलब material
material happiness, yes.
yeah.
तो ये ना कि at one point in time, when I bought a BMW, तो उसमें से जब मैं उतरता था तो मुझे लगता था वाओ, everybody
हाँ.
must be watching me, कितनी बढ़िया कार है, 1000 नंबर की गाड़ी है. तो हम लाइफ में ना जब वो बड़ी चीजें करते हैं तो इसीलिए करते हैं क्योंकि हमें रिकॉग्निशन चाहिए होता है.
Right.
Human beings, when the God sent human beings, he said go and multiply.
Yeah.
Any other animal. So हमारे अंदर ही एक inbuilt urge है to attract, to be attractive, to draw attention, to be Darwin's theory के हिसाब से better than the other. और हम उसी में सारी लड़ाई करते रहते हैं. राइट इसीलिए हमें ज्यादा पैसा चाहिए होता है, ज्यादा बड़ी कोठी बनानी है, ज्यादा बड़ा काउच रखना है,
हाँ.
ठीक है. शादी में ज्यादा वो लहंगा महंगा पहनना है. सब अपना ही देखते रहते हैं, कोई दूसरे का नहीं देखता. एवरीबडी इज वेटिंग कि मुझे कौन आके तारीफ करता है.
Compliment करेगा.
My family has kind of moved away from that.
Yeah. So
Right.
so heartening to hear this, matlab, I'm sure this is your and Vandana's like collective philosophy, which has kind of shaped the girls also in this way, and now the complete unit is functioning in this manner. But Arun, I'm also very intrigued to know, now you spend, as you said, 80% or probably more than that you spend in Pinkish, you spend doing that work. And even though it started out as Khyati's idea, but now that you're spending so much time into this, did you ever have this kind of ambition to do something in this space, or it only started with Khyati's urge to do something, or was it like she triggered something in you and then you said कि हाँ मतलब this is something that I wanted to do, so might as well.
I think the third one, yes, because
Yeah.
by nature, I am like that, uh,
Yeah.
where it's more about uh, not taking. I would love doing things, giving things, whether it's be advice. किसी के घर में कुछ बच्चे को कोई दिक्कत हो रही है, माँ से नहीं संभल रहा है,
हाँ.
they will call me, I will see that what can be done, etc. तो एक वो नेचर रही थी. So for that matter, I would say when we were 38, both Khyati, Vandana and I said ki enough, let's retire. Right? And we spent actually 1.5, 2 years to find ways to retire and be somewhere else, leave
हाँ.
Delhi, go to mountains. हमने बहुत घूमे. हमें लगा कि एप्पल ऑर्चार्ड खोल लेते हैं, कुछ
हाँ.
start करते हैं. We did all of that. Eventually did not work out. दिल्ली में जो एजुकेशन है, जो हेल्थ केयर है, वो अनफॉर्चुनेटली बहुत सारे बाकी के हिंदुस्तान में नहीं है. Is something very, very primary and critical. We all grow
Yeah.
old, we all get sick, and kids की education है वो बड़ा important है, because that's a project, right?
Yeah.
You take a
Yeah.
responsibility. So when Khyati came, eventually, I think she gave me my mojo, something
Yeah.
I was born for,
Yeah.
right? It was that fate which
Yeah.
happened, and so I'm the happiest in doing this, because I'll tell you, when I was young, so we had this very small house. My father, every day, he would sit in a corner on an asana, and then he'll read Gita for half an hour accurately. और मैं वहां बैठा बैठा उनको देखता रहता था कि क्या कर क्या रहे हैं, मतलब बिल्कुल ऐसे करके बैठ जाते थे. Then he'll do. तो then one day I asked him कि आप क्या पढ़ते हो? तो he said Gita. I said, मैं बहुत छोटा था. I said ये क्या है? इसमें क्या मिलता है? तो कहते हैं अभी तो कैसे समझाऊं, it'll take time, but एक चीज याद रखना, कर्म करो, फल की चिंता मत करो, ये इसका सारांश है. And that stuck with me. There are 2, 3, 4 things that stuck with me for my life. This is one of them. Where he said, do this. So enjoy the process. हम ना रिजल्ट पे बहुत फोकस करते हैं. हमारी फैमिली में और स्पेशली मैं, हम रिजल्ट पे फोकस नहीं करते. We just enjoy what we need to do. हमारे लिए डिसीजंस लेना भी बड़ा आसान है, क्योंकि हम ये सोचते हैं कि धर्म क्या है. जेन्युइनली आज की जनरेशन में बड़ा ऑड साउंड करेगा. धर्म का मतलब है कि व्हाट इज राइट, यस, व्हाट इज राइट. तो जहां भी हमारे सामने कोई डायलेमा आता है कि क्या करना चाहिए, तो हम कहते हैं करना क्या चाहिए, व्हाट इज राइट. उसमें चाहे लॉस हो, चाहे कुछ भी हो, डोंट बॉदर अबाउट इट, डू द राइट. So that makes it very, very easy, right? तो बस उसी तरह से चलता रहता है. तो हाँ, this was somewhere the calling. Khyati evoked it. I picked it up. I'm very thankful, and I have a lot of gratitude towards her for doing that.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds wonderful. And you also talked about scheduling, so I'm very interested to know, do you have a typical day? Like, is it routine bound, or every day is a different day?
So there are some portions which are routine bound, in the sense that there are some periodic meetings, etc., which happen.
Yeah.
So typically the way of time management is that first you book those on your calendar which are repeatable activities.
Yeah.
Then there are some large, difficult activities, tough activities, which you take first. So I block time for those where I have to work on a large proposal, something to do with my website, something to study. There's no day that I don't study. Every day I study, right? So I keep some time for them. So I park my day with all of that. Rest of the day is available to everybody. Take first in, first out.
And what about availability for yourself? Do you find time for yourself in the
This is
middle of all of
for
this?
myself, no?
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy. I don't enjoy anything. If I have to watch a movie, somebody has to kill me to make me do it, because it's a waste of 3 hours. That's how I'm built. I don't like doing anything. I don't like partying. So somebody was today inviting me for a business and कि मिलते हैं, तो मैंने कहा नहीं, मिलते नहीं है. अगर
हम्म।
मिलेंगे तो दैट्स आने जाने में टाइम वेस्ट होगा।
हाँ
जूम
आप
काम होता है ना, तो वी कैन डू दैट,
या
राइट? सो इंटरेस्टिंग, सो नाइस दिस मीडियम. तो
या
because I enjoy this. So every movement for that for me is when we grow, when we do something, when it's one more girl. And I'm really honestly telling you, मतलब it's nothing. Uh, कि ना वो रोज का काउंट किया, आज आज हमने 100 लड़कियों को और इनेबल किया और पढ़ाया, उससे बड़ी हैप्पीनेस क्या होती है?
या
तो
या
because,
that sounds very it's actually, to me it's very wishful, this kind of, and I think you put the right word to it. It's blissful. More than that, it's very enriching to see that you are at that stage of life. And I think many thanks to Khyati for enabling that.
yeah.
uh you know
And I'll intervene here. On one side, it is Khyati, but I'll also kind of connect it, and especially this is parenthood.
yeah
So my mother was a simple woman,
yeah
was educated till class 12 or something. And the way she started bringing us up,
hmm
so fourth class में, so she brought that competitive spirit. She
hmm
gave me that pleasure. 3 4 5 चौथे साल तक उन्होंने हमें खूब पढ़ाया.
hmm
Fourth year में I came first or fifth in something, so there was a prize which I got. That she
hmm
ensured.
hmm
मेड अ बिग थिंग अबाउट इट कि ये आज मिला, आज तालियां बजी, कैसा लगा. ठीक
hmm
है. नेक्स्ट ईयर फिर पढ़ाया, नेक्स्ट ईयर आई केम फोर्थ, एंड शी सेलिब्रेटेड दैट.
hmm
और उसके बाद उन्होंने मुझे छोड़, एंड
ah
शी जस्ट लेफ्ट. ठीक
hmm
है. एंड उन्होंने ये हंगर मेरे अंदर क्रिएट कर दी कि लाइफ में फर्स्ट आने का है, जो भी
hmm
आपकी डेफिनेशन हो. ठीक है.
हाँ हाँ
So sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, tenth, I kept on increasing my rank. फिर वो ये हो गया कि क्लास में मॉनिटर भी बनना है, स्कूल का
hmm
कैप्टन भी बनना है, ड्रामेटिक्स भी करना है, बैडमिंटन भी खेलना है. अल्टीमेटली आई टॉप्ड माय स्कूल, देन आई गॉट इनटू बीटेक, राइट?
hmm
सो एंड आई थिंक बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स को मैं देखता हूँ,
hmm
जो ना बच्चों को एक वो होता है ना, विदाउट रियलाइजिंग कि इनको एक्चुअली करना क्या है,
hmm
वो उसको स्पून फीड करते रहते हैं,
right
या कोई डिग्रीज दिलाते रहते हैं, या डिपेंडेंट कर देते हैं. जैसे हिंदुस्तान के जो बच्चे हैं, मैं देखता हूँ कि 24 25 साल के बच्चे भी फॉरेन के, अनफॉर्चुनेटली 12 14 साल के बच्चों का आईक्यू उनसे बराबर होता है, या ईक्यू
hmm
उनके बराबर होता है. दे
right
मच्योर वेरी फास्ट. लाइक इसराइल में 16 साल के लड़के को अपने आप ही अर्न करना होता है और वो घर से चला जाता है.
hmm
यहाँ तो मदर्स जो ना स्पून फीड कर रही होती हैं हमारे देश
right
में,
literally
है ना, विच इज
हाँ
वेरी वेरी हार्मफुल, आई बिलीव, राइट?
hmm
12 in England, a 12-year boy, he is called Mister,
hmm
right? हमारे यहाँ तो ऐसा नहीं होता है. ठीक है.
hmm
तो वो मैं सबको बताता हूँ कि बस ये क्रिएट कर दो कि आपके बच्चे के अंदर वो इच्छा आ जाए, उसको
hmm
ये वो लग जाए, लत लग जाए कि अगर मेरे को कुछ अच्छा करता हूँ और लोग ताली बजाते हैं तो मुझे अच्छा लगता है. तो he'll just start doing things. और एक बुक्स का लव करा दो, बिकॉज
hmm
you don't need to teach, right?
hmm
Books will teach him. He'll find the right books. जहां आपने बुक्स पढ़ना शुरू कर दिया, ठीक है. मैंने एक बुक पढ़ी थी कभी बहुत जमाने में, हाउ टू विन फ्रेंड्स एंड इन्फ्लुएंस पीपल. कंप्लीटली चेंज्ड माय लाइफ,
hmm
कंप्लीटली चेंज माय लाइफ. इतनी ड्रामेटिक बुक थी, राइट? सो बुक्स कैन बी दैट ग्रेट फ्रेंड. चंदा मामा पढ़ी हमने, पंचतंत्र पढ़ी, वो
hmm
सिखाते गए चीजें, राइट?
yeah
तो
yeah
अगर इस प्लेटफॉर्म से कम ये एक मैं अपना वो अगर मैसेज दे सकता हूँ ना, कि
हाँ
पेरेंट्स
जी
वर्क,
hmm
छोटे से बच्चे को 3 4 साल, मतलब तीसरी चौथी क्लास तक हो जाता है, तब तक उसको इस तरह पढ़ाओ. उसे ट्यूशन पे डिपेंड मत करो. मुझे आज भी ये लगता है कि अगर किसी बच्चे को ट्यूशन पढ़ना पड़ रहा है तो बहुत बड़ा फॉल्ट है,
hmm
बहुत बड़ा फॉल्ट है पूरे एजुकेशन सिस्टम में, उनके फैमिली में. Why do you need to? Everything is available.
yeah
Niyati did her medical all on YouTube because we
wow
we got her to Ashok, Akash वगैरह. मैंने कहा यहाँ से करा देते हैं. And then
hmm
she saw the fees, and then she said, when the best teachers, their videos are available on YouTube, why don't you give that money to me, right? And I will study at home and save that money and that all that effort. And we
wow
agreed. It was a great deal because it was saving me on the other things. So
yeah
we promised that money to her कि ठीक है, करते जाओ, और उसके साथ साथ ये एक बार में नहीं देंगे,
हाँ, जैसे
माइलस्टोन।
वहां पे इंस्टॉलमेंट में पे करते हैं
हाँ,
वैसे आपको देंगे
राइट।
इंस्टॉलमेंट।
एंड शी डिड दैट, शी स्टडीड होल ऑफ इट ऑन हर ओन।
वाह।
बात पढ़ती थी, अपने अपना मोटिवेशन क्रिएट हो गया, राइट।
हम्म
तो जो जो रिवॉर्ड्स हैं
हम्म
लाइफ के, वो रिवॉर्ड्स को बिल्ड करके, जो जो कैरेट एंड स्टिक वाली चीज है ना, वो बहुत जल्दी बिल्डअप करनी चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से। बच्चे अपने आप फिर दौड़ना शुरू कर देते हैं,
राइट।
रादर। और बच्चों में मतलब दूसरा मुझे लगता है कि पेरेंट्स जो है ना, शायद बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स हमें देखता हूँ, वो ये नहीं समझते, मेरा व्यू है, इट आई
हम्म
कैन बी टोटली रॉन्ग, when the child is born they see it as कि ना एक बबुआ आ गया, बड़ा
हम्म
लाडला कुछ आ गया, yeah, you get that pleasure
हम्म
of a small child, a baby, उसकी growth, everything. But I think that is secondary. The first thing is it's a responsibility,
राइट।
right? You give birth when you are both husband and wife are prepared कि
हम्म
what do we want to do with this child? What will he
या
do in this world? Why are we giving this birth? Just not to increase the count of the population by one person, but
राइट।
to do something meaningful, to do something substantial. और वो
या
क्लैरिटी के साथ आपको उस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को निभाना पड़ेगा।
हम्म
ग्रोथ कैसे करोगे इसकी? हाउ आर यू गिविंग द वर्ल्ड अ रिस्पॉन्सिबल सिटीजन,
एब्सोल्युटली।
responsible human being, and in the process you enjoy उसका, लेकिन ये नहीं कि उसका खेलना कूदना उछलना वही प्राइमरी है,
हम्म
उसको उसको पैम्पर करके बिगाड़ना, खिलाते
हम्म
रहना। I don't know, मतलब this just pains me, तो मैं
Yeah.
कह
No,
रहा
this is, I think
हूँ।
this is pretty valid. And especially sometimes, like we get so busy in the daily humdrum of things that these things, as you said, now, I think it also connects with another thing that you said in terms of setting up some ground rules pretty early on, whether it's your life as a couple or your life as a family unit or your life as parents. What do you want this child to be? And how do you want to raise that child? And then मतलब वही कि बीच में कुछ इधर उधर हो सकता है as the situation comes, but overall umbrella level पे आपकी foundation क्या है, आपके विचार क्या हैं, उससे it aligns or not. And as you said, I think it truly resonates with me when you said, like, how do you take decisions? You do what is right. You do what is right, not just by you. Like, your standards, yeah, of course, your morality, your ethics, all of that. But do you really think it is right? And if it is right, then do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and especially when there are conflict, when you're not able to decide, when the two things, because life is shades of gray.
Yeah.
You get to choose between black and white. That's very easy.
Yeah.
It's one shade lighter between gray. So how do you decide which one to go? Because दोनों के साथ कुछ positive भी है, कुछ negative भी है. And
Right.
that's the time you decide what is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
धर्म धर्म क्या कहता है? धर्म doesn't mean कि Hinduism or Islam.
Huh.
धर्म
Huh.
means कि right.
Righteousness.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You said it right, absolutely. Yeah.
Very, very, very insightful, Arun. And we are coming to a close, but before we go, I would like to ask you one last question. If you are sitting across to your pre-parent self, is there an advice that you would like to give him, knowing all that you do now?
Pre-parent.
Been very long, hasn't it?
Sorry?
Been very long, hasn't it?
Been very long. And the thing is, currently everything is so good. Right? Typically, what happens is that when you are struggling with things,
Yeah,
then you think and you go back.
yeah,
Overall, it has been a decent enough journey.
yeah,
The kids are both kids I'm very, very proud of.
yeah,
Right? Both are becoming good people.
yeah,
Right? That's most important.
yeah.
Right? I don't know. I really don't know. I can't think of anything.
what what could be, I think what could be a greater joy and what could be the greater wealth than being in this position that you have no advice to offer to your earlier self, whether it was pre-parent, post-parent, whatever. But I think this is a truly, truly special place to be in, Arun. And I'm so happy that you're there.
Yeah. Thank God, and I feel really lucky that way. But even otherwise, I think the way I take it is probably it's a lot to do with my thinking also, in the
Yeah.
sense human being in every form is a good form,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Why do you want to limit somebody in? Because probably with both these daughters, we did not keep an expectation.
Right.
Idea is they are taking their own path journey and really telling you, like Khyati is 14, 24. As soon as she started working,
Hmm.
so one very formal discussions that we had,
Hmm.
formal, right?
Hmm.
And we said, okay, now it's your life.
Yeah.
यहाँ तक हमें लाना था,
Hmm.
हमारी ड्यूटी खत्म होती है. वी आर ऑलवेज देयर फॉर एनीथिंग दैट यू वांट टू डू. बट फ्रॉम हियर, सो कम टू एनीथिंग, चाहे सुबह से शाम तक आओ,
Hmm.
20 बार बातें करो जो तुम्हें चाहिए, डिस्कस करना है, लेकिन हमारी तरफ से हमारा रोल खत्म हो गया है.
Hmm.
राइट? यू आर फ्री, टेक योर लाइफ डिसीजंस, एक्सप्लोर लाइफ, एंजॉय लाइफ. ठीक है, जैसे करना चाहो. मन करे कि किसी से लड़ाई करके जेल जाना है, योर कॉल. हमारे लिए तब भी तुम बेटी हो, बट इट्स योर कॉल. ठीक है, इसके
Hmm.
बियॉन्ड हमारा कुछ नहीं है. राइट? वी डोंट हैव एनी एक्सपेक्टेशंस कि ना, नहीं तुम्हें हमें साथ रहना है
Hmm.
और हमें बुढ़ापे में ये देखना है. नथिंग डूइंग, लिव योर लाइफ. और जिस तरह से चलेगा आराम से चलाते रहेंगे. ठीक है.
Wow.
राइट.
Have you had this discussion with the both of them or just Khyati abhi?
No, अभी अभी नियति, because she has started going to college, so
Yeah.
till the time she gets her first job and she's
Oh.
उसका क्लिनिक एस्टेब्लिश करने का, उसको
Hmm.
1 साल तक रन करने का, वो अभी उसका ठेका मैंने ले रखा है.
हाँ.
अभी जैसे ये ना कि उसके साथ रोज ही इस तरह का डिस्कशन होता है. नाउ शी विल स्टार्ट गोइंग टू कॉलेज.
Yeah.
तो उसके बाद हमने उसका ये अरेंजमेंट करा दिया है कि आफ्टर फर्स्ट ईयर इटसेल्फ शी विल स्टार्ट वर्किंग विद अ डॉक्टर अनपेड फॉर द नेक्स्ट 3 years.
Wow.
तो वहां पे कार सेवा करो और इन द प्रोसेस सीखो. तो डॉक्टर
Hmm.
हैज एन कॉन्टेक्ट. सो लर्न एज मच एज यू. दिस लाइफ इज टू लर्न, कीप लर्निंग.
Yeah.
द लर्न. नॉलेज से बड़ा रिस्पेक्ट कोई नहीं है.
Hmm.
राइट? आपके ब्यूटी का नहीं है, आपकी मटेरियलिस्टिक पोजेशंस का नहीं है. इफ यू आर नॉलेजेबल, इफ यू कैन टॉक सेंसिबली, इफ यू हैव लर्निंग, एंड यू कैन नॉट लर्न एवरीथिंग, सो
Yeah.
टू अदर्स. तो बस वही उसी उसके साथ हम आगे बढ़ते रहते हैं. तो नियति पे अब फोकस है,
Hmm.
ख्याति का फोकस खत्म हो गया है. है ना? तो
Hmm. Sounds very beautiful, Arun. Thank you
तो
so
ये भी
much for.
जरूरी है ना नेहा, कि एट सम
Huh?
पॉइंट इन टाइम यू हैव टू जस्ट, ठीक है, अब हम दोनों को कह रहे हैं कि बारी बारी से करके निकलो घर से. लीव स्पेस टू मी एंड योर मॉम. ठीक है,
Yeah.
कि हम लोग अपना ना, वो बैचलरहुड जो है वो दोबारा से जिए.
अरे अब तो आप सब अडल्ट हो तो अब आप मतलब मतलब यू लिव एज रूममेट्स सो.
In the sense, I'll tell you, there are some travels that I and Vandana, after a long time, we did as the kids grew, and we went alone. I can't tell you how beautiful it was.
Yeah.
Right? Of course, you are old people. It's a different way of dealing with each other. But the
Yeah.
kind of love you have, and it changes into respect and care with the age. Right?
Yeah.
You see your wife, how careful. आपका हल्का सा पैर कहीं पे फिसलता है तो she is worried.
Yeah.
You are worried कि इसने खाना खा लिया, इसको कुछ
Yeah.
उठाना तो नहीं पड़ रहा.
हाँ.
Right? That's a different experience that you can enjoy when your kids have grown up. Right?
Yeah.
And they start enjoying their life. So the project is over.
Yeah.
You start kind of going back to, तो आप अपना बुढ़ापा enjoy करते हो. तो we are
पता है
getting
मैं
into
क्या
that.
सोच रही हूँ इस बारे में. I am
हाँ.
thinking that because you are childhood sweetheart, so to say, that's why you have seen that stage now, and you were younger when you were, courting each other, and then you had kids, and that's why all of this didn't happen. Like people like me and my husband, we started dating in our budapa and got married in our budapa, so we are already like, हाँ इसका पैर फिसल गया, इसने खाना खाया कि नहीं. So that is what romance is for us.
Yeah, I think I would say in the middle years, जब
Yeah.
दोनों बच्चे बढ़ रहे होते थे, I think we got very much focused on them
Yeah.
on building a family. जैसे we started with very humble beginning. 2,000 रुपए की सैलरी से मैंने शुरू किया था कभी,
Wow.
राइट। तो कुछ भी नहीं था।
Hmm.
वो घर वालों ने बस भेज दिया था, तो एक एक चेयर, एक एक बर्तन, एक चाय की छन्नी, वहां से हमने लेना शुरू किया था। ठीक है, फिर बच्चों की एजुकेशन, और हर पेरेंट चाहता है इनको बेस्ट से बेस्ट एजुकेशन मिले। तो एवरीथिंग यू डिड वाज, तो उसमें ना अपनी जवानी निकल जाती है, कभी सब पता भी नहीं।
Right.
ठीक है,
Right.
लेकिन फिर वो वापस भी आ जाती है। अगर आप
You,
चाहो तो।
yeah, you make us look forward to being, old
It
and
is a very good time.
great, lovely. और जाते जाते आप और कुछ हमें बताना चाहेंगे, एंड डू यू वांट टू maybe say to our listeners something more, and you have some more advice to offer?
What advice shall I give? I'm myself learning, बस मुझे लगता वही है कि I think two, three things which I generally notice, and I see that uh, uh, one great thing which has happened is that women empowerment journey has taken a very good shape. Uh, तो एक तो क्या हुआ है कि जो हमारे बहुत सारे मेन हैं, आई स्टिल फाइंड कि वो अभी भी ऑर्थोडॉक्स हैं, वो पीछे हैं। लड़कियां बहुत आगे बढ़ गई हैं। और जब वो गर्ल मतलब जब वो कोर्टिंग में होते हैं तो हर तरह की लाइफ है। शादी में अभी भी वही एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि वो जो उन्होंने पिक्चरों में देखा हुआ है या जो अपनी माँ को देखा हुआ है। टाइम्स हैव चेंज्ड। दीज आर टू पार्टनर्स हु हैव जॉइंड टुगेदर इन अ जर्नी, राइट। तो बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है कि एक दूसरे को समझना, कुछ रूल सेटअप करने। दैट लव द स्पार्क शुड ऑलवेज बी देयर। नहीं तो
Yeah.
बहुत आराम से छोटी छोटी चीजों में डिफरेंसेस पे लाइफ खराब हो जाती है। ठीक है,
Hmm.
उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है। तो establish that thing, and the fact of the matter is whatever you do, your partners are the best people to take care of you, and they think। तो उसमें ना जो फैमिली है, फ्रेंड्स हैं, वो सडनली ऑल सेकेंडरी हो जाते हैं, जो कि
Right.
दोनों के लिए उस समय बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। तो ये रियलाइज करना बहुत जरूरी है।
Right.
एंड सेकेंड थिंग इज कि when you give birth to a child, right, it's a responsibility that you are
Yeah.
taking. That is very important to understand.
Yeah.
और उस बच्चे को, उसके लिए कुछ है ना, बाद में वो कुछ भी करे। ठीक है,
Hmm.
जैसे होता है ना कि तारे जमीन पे है, या वो सॉरी कौन सी पिक्चर है, थ्री इडियट्स, कि
Hmm.
लेट देम चूज बट इट विल कम लेटर।
Yeah.
ये लगता है क्योंकि स्टार्टिंग में बच्चे को नहीं पता व्हाट टू लूज।
Yeah.
आप उसके बिहाफ पे कुछ डिसाइड करो, समथिंग रियली एम्बिशियस, ठीक है, और उसके लिए इक्विप करना शुरू करो,
Hmm.
राइट। उसके बाद वो अपनी और बहुत सारी चीजें उसकी लाइफ में आएंगी। स्कूल कैसा है, फ्रेंड्स कैसे हैं, पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंसेस कैसे हैं, आपकी रिलेशनशिप कैसी है, बिकॉज दैट इज अ ह्यूज रिफ्लेक्शन ऑन अ चाइल्ड।
Yeah.
दादा दादी कैसे हैं, सराउंडिंग कैसे हैं, उसके बेसिस पे वो अपनी एक लाइफ लेगा जो कि डिफरेंट है। ठीक है,
Right.
लेकिन वहां तक उसको अपने पैरों पे खड़ा होना आ जाए और उसको राइट डिसीजन मेकिंग आ जाए कि व्हाट एम आई
Hmm.
डूइंग। एटलीस्ट वो गोल पे फोकस हो जाए, तो कोई ना कोई गोल तो पहुंच ही जाएगा। अगर
Yeah.
वो जयपुर जाने निकला है तो जयपुर ना पहुंचे, कानपुर पहुंच जाएगा, लखनऊ पहुंच जाएगा, बरेली पहुंच जाएगा। सड़क पे चलना तो सिखाओ,
Right.
नोएडा से कनॉट प्लेस तो लेके जाओ।
Right.
दैट इज व्हाट आई वुड से। तो इट्स because it's not your toy, a child
Yeah.
is not your toy,
Yeah.
right। तो वो इसलिए नहीं पैदा किया है आपने कि
Hmm.
उसको पैम्पर करके बिगाड़ो।
Yeah, and suddenly when the children become adults, or when they are forced by life to, stand up on their own or take their own decisions, suddenly, like, children of this kind of parenting feel handicapped. They are just they just like they are just flailing around. They can't take a decision. They can't. And yeah, so I think we are doing a great disservice, not just to the society. That's secondary, I would say. We are doing a great disservice to the child itself.
एब्सोल्युटली एब्सोल्युटली।
Yeah.
फैक्ट ऑफ मैटर इज, साथ में जो स्कूल्स हैं,
Hmm.
at max, if it is one of the brightest and the bestest of schools, it can do 50% of what a child needs. Rest 50% is always your onus,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
reflection,
Yeah.
right. Your can go to 100%, but a
Yeah.
school cannot go more than 50%.
Yeah.
Just imagine your responsibility. So just putting your children in the best of the schools, जहाँ की वो बहुत फीस बहुत ज्यादा है, and just thinking कि हो गया हमारा काम, I have to earn. So then you are basically being selfish. Right? If you give birth to a child and if you're not focused on it, then I think you're losing it somewhere. ये मेरा personal view है.
No, but this is so right because I relate to it so much because my husband runs a football academy, so for kids. So oftentimes there are requests that he gets from parents saying, sir, he doesn't eat properly. His diet is not good. He's eating junk food, or she is very interested to go to the parties and eat all the desserts, and they don't eat healthy. So please, you should give, as part of your lessons, you should also teach them to eat healthy because they don't listen to us, and in various words and in various sentences, this is a common complaint or a request that my husband gets from various parents. And once I overheard him saying, and then we had a huge conversation about it, where we both were discussing how, he said he gave a number to the parent. It was a mother, and he says, "Ma'am, hafte mein 3 din class hoti hai, an hour each. That's 3 hours in a week, 12 hours in a month, and it's not even 1%, or it is 1% of the time that the child has total in a month. What will you do in those 12 hours? What can I do? And rest of the time he spends or she spends with you. You have far greater responsibility and influence, so to say, on your own child than we can ever do." And again, after that, talking of expertise and all of that is a different thing, that, a football academy cannot teach you nutrition. But that's a different thing, even if it was. How I think you're very right in saying that just because we can, step back, once we have enrolled them in good schools, good academies, good art and craft classes, good tuitions, we just can't sit back and say that, okay, mera kaam khatam.
I think more than that, especially, see, I'll just take from this whole menstrual health and hygiene thing that we do. So we realize even in the urban areas, girls do not know enough because their mothers, howsoever urban, most of them, they do not know when to tell, how much to tell, what to tell, because they were not taught properly. Problem is, lot of our in India and maybe abroad also, but the parents, the young people who marry, they have no experience of how to raise a child. Right? Even that is very important, that if there are no courses here in India, unfortunately, you learn from the net, you talk to parents, learn from their experiences, discuss between yourself, but then develop a methodology to raise your child, because that way, at least if you're conscious about it, the basics that you will know is that you'll know it's beyond pampering. It is about that right do's, don'ts, that right discipline, creating that right urge to grow, giving that ability. क्योंकि कोई भी बच्चा ना तब तक फर्स्ट नहीं आता लाइफ में, या कोर्स में, या मेडिकल नहीं निकालता, या आईआईटी नहीं निकालता, जब तक उसके अंदर से हंगर नहीं आती. आप देखो, जो गांव के बच्चे आते हैं, वो आजकल बहुत अच्छा करते हैं. बहुत अच्छे अच्छे स्कूल के बच्चे नहीं कर पाते. क्यों नहीं कर पाते? उनको ऑलरेडी सब है, वो भूख नहीं है, डिस्ट्रैक्शंस बहुत है. राइट? So, and that needs to be created, that you need to achieve something big, bigger than yourself. Right? And for a reason, not for yourself. अगर आप अपने लिए ही करोगे, तो आप कभी भी बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा, मतलब मुझे लगता है कि
No, that's true, because there is a limit ना. मतलब आपका अगर अपने लिए विजन है, तो वो एक पॉइंट तक ही हो सकता है ना. मतलब आपकी भी नीड्स भी लिमिटेड है ना, ऐसे करके.
Also take you to a very good level, but if you have to do something exceptional, right? If you have to be a Bill Gates or a Steve Jobs, you have to think beyond yourself.
Yeah.
Right? और मेरे ख्याल से वहीं से स्टार्ट करना चाहिए.
And I think you've said something very important that, I am, I'll tell you what I'm referring to. You said that we were not taught, or maybe generations before us were not taught what is the right thing. So we don't know how to tell our kids about those things. But, I heard someone's interview. It is Sushant Divijkar. And they said in their interview with, um, this is a show called Be a Man Yaar. Nikhil Taneja of Yuva, he hosts that show. And in the show, Sushant was talking about his father, who he really, really loves and respects. And, he has been a very loving father to Sushant and his brother. And he was telling the story, and he said something which stuck with me so beautifully. He said that, my father's father was not a very good father. And my father could do two things. Either he could imitate that behavior, or he could say that I am not going to do what my father did. I'm not going to do to my child what my father did to his children. And he chose to not be like his own father. And he just completely and he learned on the job. He figured his way out. It's very difficult. I think as much as feminism and everything else has enabled women to speak up for themselves, I think we really, really need some intervention for the men in our lives also, to enable them to deal with these empowered women, because now what do you do with it? So for us, there have been predecessors and suffragettes and other feminist icons who we can look up to and say that, okay, this is who I should aspire to be, and this is what I should be like. But where do the men go? So, and when in the lived experiences of someone, you find instances of that softness, that intelligence and that warmth coming from a man, a typical, as you said, typifying things. So typically a man is an aggressive person, a boss. When you see a man like Sushant's father, like yourself, taking a back seat and saying, I am an invisible man, I think it says a lot, and we need to really preserve these kind of stories and spread it far and wide, because these are some things to be learned, and learned by men of our generation, so that they can become better human beings.
Yes, and I believe, howsoever we hate that, but the fact of it is, a lot of that can be learned from the West. We learn a lot of other things from the West, but if you see a man-woman relationship in the Western countries, while there would be a lot of divorces, etc., which is the flip side of it, but still I would say the divorces generally are much more cordial. हमारे यहाँ तो ये होता है कि अगर कोई दो जने फंस गए आपस में और उनकी नहीं पट रही, तो बेटा आप जिंदगी भर रो पीटो और कोई
लेकिन साथ
escape
रहेंगे.
लेकिन साथ रहेंगे, और कोर्ट्स भी हमारा सिस्टम अलाउ ही नहीं करता. इवन इफ यू गो टू द कोर्ट, द फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज कोर्ट वुड नॉट वांट यू टू सेपरेट. इट टेक मेक इट 10 years, तब तक जिंदगी निकल जाएगी, तो फिर आप एंड में बोलते हो कि करोगे क्यों, राइट? बट द वेस्टर्न मेन हैव लर्नड टू टेक women at par, respect them thoroughly without even thinking about it, right? The respect comes naturally. But anyhow, these are topics that we can
yeah. So
never.
thank you so much, Arun, sharing your story with us today on a multifaceted level. I think your journey is a beautiful reminder that not just parenting, but life is not a one size fits all experience. And especially parenting, it's complex, it's challenging, and it's deeply, deeply personal. There is no universal rule book to it. And the way you've navigated your own life, balancing such diverse paths with Vandana, and now your daughters Khyati and Niyati, is truly inspiring. And you've shown us that parenting isn't just about raising children; it's also about growing ourselves, learning to adapt, and finding joy in little moments along the way. It's been such a joy to have you here. Thank you. And I'm sure our listeners are taking away a lot of wisdom and warmth from your story.
Thank you, Neha. It has been wonderful. I was kind of very skeptical, as I said
Yeah.
initially. I didn't know what to talk. and always you believe that this is an experimentation. You're never sure what you're doing is the right thing. It's just that if the results are good, you
Yeah.
tend to believe that the path would have been kind of good,
Yeah.
right? That is just a validation of the thing. But I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. It has been a very free flowing conversation. Just didn't realize we have already spoken for a long time.
Yeah.
It has been lovely. Well, I enjoyed this discussion thoroughly. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for being giving me opportunity and being a patient listener. You allowed an old man to just blabber. Uh, and pardon your audience too, for if I have some hard views.
No,
I
all I think that is what this platform is here for, Arun. Truly, it doesn't. We don't want to be a cookie cutter sort of parents, like, like not just this platform, but also any parenting, any life. Not just parenting. Parenting is one aspect of it, but life also. You'd see two people; they are not similar, and even if we might subscribe to same philosophy, but how you implement and see that philosophy will be hugely different than how I see it. So I think those kind of granularities and nuances, they're very interesting bits to life, and always a pleasure to listen to varied stories. And yeah, thank you once again
would
for
spot
being
that
here.
way. Thank you, Neha. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. And
And to our listeners, thank you for being here with us. If Arun's story resonated with you, please share this episode with someone who might benefit from his insights. Remember, every parenting journey is unique, and hearing each other's stories helps us feel a little less alone in the chaos. Don't forget to subscribe to Parenthood to stay updated on our weekly episodes. Follow us on social media, leave a review, and let's continue this conversation together. We are all in this journey side by side, lifting each other up. Until next time, keep embracing the beautiful mess of parenthood and always remember you're doing an amazing job. This is your host, Neha Garg, signing off. Take care, stay kind to yourself, and we'll see you in the next episode.